Okay guys, do you remember that game that BioWare made and everybody loved? No, I'm not talking about the butt controversy one.
Alright, man.
Now, Anthem, one of the biggest memed games ever, has been pretty silent the last several months, but it seems like today we may have some more news. It's crunch time for Anthem.
EA Games.
We just need money. One more decent take and we're gone.
This week it seems like we find out if Anthem Next is going ahead or if it's getting canned. All this and more after the drop. Oh, sorry, I'm a little puffed out today because I was running from the ladies. And you know why I was running from the ladies? Because the Apex Gaming PC, baby. Laymen Gaming PC, the fetchest, coolest PC ever. I've said it before, it increases your chances with the ladies between 420 and 69%. The other way around, you know what I'm talking about. I actually use this PC to do all my editing. The show that you're watching right now, all the show is edited on this rig. I do actually thoroughly enjoy this machine. Check it out. Love you, appreciate you. Link in the description, top comment. Again, even if you just want to exercise, you just want to run away from the ladies, that's another way to just get your calories up. You know what I mean? Check it out. It's a great machine. Now, I don't really think I need to give you a huge backstory into Anthem, the huge wreckage of a launch that was, the gigantic meme that it has been, but you guys, you know the gist of it. It is owned, of course, by EA, our favorite company, the mother of all memes.
They are the man's school.
But this launch had everything. It had the poor Metacritic user score, which we've all seen from many other games that also fall into the 76 territory. We saw a poor launch, very buggy, extremely buggy, a poorly delivered roadmap with very bad DLC, I guess you'll call that, with Anthem Cataclysm, and on top of that, it would also brick PS4s when people would play Anthem, or at the very least, it would actually shut the entire PS4 down. But people weren't pissed, because the game was so bad, they didn't want to play it anyway. So once the terrible launch happened, EA and BioWare, they had a choice to make. They had to figure out what they were going to do with this, because the reputation of the game and its future was very questionable. So they went back to the drawing board and they thought, you know what, we'll make Anthem Next. And just to explain Anthem Next, it's ultimately a small dev team of about 30 people or so trying to figure out what the new Anthem would look like. It's not a rebuild completely. But, I mean, as this article says, Anthem Next includes major changes to the game's core systems and user interface, the people said. It's not clear if or when these changes will be implemented in the versions that's currently available to players. So Anthem Next is trying to be more than just a hefty patch that changes some boring or broken bits of the game. It's really trying to change what's under the hood while keeping the original concept of making you feel like Iron Man while waiting in load screens.
I'm old, Gandalf.
So as I said before, we haven't heard much about Anthem Next, and this may be why. Executive producer Christian Daly wrote 3 blog posts last year outlining some other big changes planned, but in December, Daly left the Anthem team as part of a BioWare management shakeup, leaving the project's fate in question. So look, it's never a good look when the guy at the top is bailing from the sinking ship or leaves because there's a BioWare management shakeup. But don't worry, the hardcore people that love Anthem, they're hanging on. All 7 people, they know this game's gonna be good. But for all you hardcore fans out there, this is the week, apparently, that you're gonna find out if Anthem Next is going ahead. It's crunch time. This week, EA executives will review the latest version of Anthem Next and decide whether to expand the team or abandon the project, says the people who asked not to be named discussing private information. EA has not yet indicated whether it's willing to commit that kind of budget to revive a maligned game. A spokesperson from EA said that the company doesn't comment on rumor and speculation. That's corporate crap 101. I'm sure they're actually going to be meeting and figuring out if they actually want to go ahead with this thing. But here's the thing, right? In order for them to move forward, as the article says, they'll need to triple the manpower from 30 to, 90 or more to actually make Anthem Next a real thing. The question is the fan base there? Do people really want to see Anthem Next? Was the launch in such a bad state that people were like, nah, I don't care what this game may look like. I'm just not interested in whatever you've got for me now. It would take many months, money, creative energy, and a workforce that would have to take away from other projects to be thrown into this for a product that I don't think has a huge future. Although we can say EA bad and all this kind of stuff, the bottom line is they need to make a call on if this is going to make them money. If this is going to be a product that they see a future for, if they're going to be putting a lot of money or a lot of devs on this team. And I can see why it may be very questionable at this present time as to if Anthem even has a future. Because in reality, I don't think it does. I don't think anyone thinks it does. Because in reality, it's just such a botched launch, such a broken, boring game. And the general consensus out there was no one really cared if it just poofed into non-existent. Poofed into non-existence? I don't know if that's the word. You know what I mean. But let's be real, this isn't breaking records of people watching it on Twitch or people crying out for more Anthem on Twitter and Reddit and everywhere else across the internet. Like, it doesn't seem to have the demand for it. EA has a big portfolio, and let's be real, BioWare has a really valuable IP, Dragon Age. It's won Game of the Year in the past, and it doesn't seem like the new one isn't coming out to at least 2022, if not longer. It's going to be a lot of manpower, a lot of planning, a lot of creative energy that goes into that. It's like, what horse do you back? The one that's won Game of the Year and people are really craving, or Anthem Next, a complete abomination that no one wants more of? I just think that they're going to be meeting this week, and I think it's going to be pretty clear what the answer is. Having said that, they may come out and say this game is amazing. We need to get this out into the public so people can play it. That's also a possibility. But I think it comes down to, yes, there are some previous games like Division and Final Fantasy XIV, the list goes on, that have had a redemption story. But that all comes down to, as I've said before, a fan base that have held on, that are dedicated, and go out and tell their friends and tell the internet how great this game is now. So come on back. So those stories and games are out there that you can have a redemption story. But I don't think Anthem Next is that, because I don't think it has the community behind it and the hardcore dedicated population big enough that this actually has a future. So that's pretty much what you needed to know today. I think that Anthem is cooked. It's gone, and they're probably just going to have to pull the plug. We don't know. We now only know that they are meeting this week to actually make that final call. My bet is they're going to look at it and go, well, even if it's fantastic, we've got another thing that BioWare's working on, and it's going to make us a lot more money, or a lot more people are going to line up for the next Dragon Age and play it. That's what I think. But guys, thank you so much for joining in today. I love you, appreciate you. Check out the Apex PC. Very sexy. And Laymen out.